there's just so much happening in the world right now, but I want people to remember to really have hope. And there's a lot of people that are hurting and people don't even realize it. So reach out to someone and just make sure they're okay.
This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good morning, Dr. Nekeshia Hammond. Previously, episode 1879 of the 12-Minute Convos podcast. It's been just 2 years, 1 month, 22 days, and 19 hours since we last recorded that conversation. That was then, this is now. Dr. Nekeshia, how are you doing today?
I am fantastic and wonderful.
That's wonderful. The last time we spoke, you were doing a few things, right? The TV show was to be launched, right? The book was there. Of course, your practice was there. Tell me, how have things evolved today?
Yeah, it was, man, it's been a lot, like you just mentioned. So I'm still at the practice, and I'm coming out with I think it's my fourth book here this year. So that's pretty exciting. And yeah, and I have a new show now too. I had the TV show for a couple seasons, and now I have a new digital show.
What's the name of it? Come on, tell us. Are you keeping it?
It's BWE Mental Health Moment. And it's a Facebook Live. It's a digital show. It's a Facebook Live every Tuesday on Black women at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Black Women Empowered Incorporated, who right now to date has 1.9 million followers and growing. So it's been really exciting.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been really cool.
There's been a ton of work that you've put in to get to this point. Just having the practice alone is enough. You could have stopped there, right? That would have been enough, right? But you've pressed on. How does it feel like when you look back from now to over the last couple of years in reflection? How does it make you feel?
It makes me feel amazing because what happened really, to your point, a couple years ago is I love having the practice, but I really, really wanted to reach more and more people. And so it's been exciting because really it's been a journey to have more of a global influence or a global impact to help children and families. And that's what I'm on the road to doing, I should say. And it's amazing. It's been really amazing.
When you look at the younger version of you, I mean, come on, she's done well in terms of putting you in the place that's necessary for you to be where you are. Isn't that true?
It is true. And it's funny you say that because I was thinking, anyways, I was reflecting the other day as well. And I'm like, man, the younger version of me was just a very different person. But I'm grateful. I'm just really grateful for the person I have been becoming and gaining more confidence. I think the younger version was just full of a lot of fear and I don't know. And is this going to work? And I still remember, even though it's been 11 years as of this year, opening my private practice, and I had so much fear. I was terrified. And, it's 11 years later. So it's really cool. It's been a nice evolution.
While we were on the road, it was necessary to listen to conversations before we got to individuals. And I believe we spoke about this sometime in text, but it was just intriguing to see and listen to myself and then be like, the older version of me, and then the younger version of me on the recording say, as well. And I thought to myself, it's really cool. And like I had to give the younger version grace because I'm not sure the older version could do what the younger version does.
You know what? That is true too. Sometimes I look back, it's been a minute since I started graduate school, really, really long time ago. But back then I was like, how in the world did I do all that stuff in my early 20s? Like, that's crazy. Yeah. So you're right. Wow. Yeah.
Now let's look into the voice. As a psychologist, right? You're always into what someone is hearing. How are they speaking to themselves? You have that voice within you that urges you on, that amongst all of the other voices, right? How are you able to discern which voice to listen to?
That's a great question. I really love that question. And I feel like it comes with time because, as I mentioned, there was so much self-doubt in my younger self. Not that it's not here now, but it's just like the voice that is saying, like, you got this, keep going. Like, that's my new mantra that I live with. That just propels me forward to keep moving forward and to think about the families, to think about the kids. I mean, there's so many people around the world that need help, that need mental health education. And that is just like a driving force now. And it it's a bigger voice than the self-doubt. That's still there,
Hmm.
but yeah, that's definitely happened over time. So that's exciting.
I love how your mantra has evolved. When we did
Oh yeah.
speak, it was keep going, right? Now it's you've got this, keep going.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
really great. Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
You are a critical thinker. To be able to do to just be able to do one thing is so much, but with everything else that you're doing is so huge. Now, there is a son in the mix there. He's like 7 by now,
Yes.
right? How has he
Yeah.
been affected by everything that's going on with you?
Yeah, and I try my best because the last couple years have been totally insane with just traveling all over and speaking and doing all these things. But we have this thing where, and it's really cute. He's adorable. He's my joy, of course. But we have this little thing. I'll write him little love notes and just tell him, I'm traveling to where I'm traveling to. We had a little map for him so he knows
Hmm.
where mommy's at, and he's really done super well with that. Like he's a great resilient child. Of course I'm always on video chatting with him and things like that to really make sure he's okay because it's a lot on him. But he is doing fantastic in school, and he's just a kind kid, and I adore him. So yeah, we do everything we can just to make sure that he's okay
Hmm.
with mommy traveling, and he's done phenomenal. So I'm excited about that
You said
too.
we, which includes your husband. I believe
Yes,
it's what
yes,
11 years now of marriage, right? 11 or 12,
yes,
yeah? Is it correct?
yes.
Yeah.
You are. Keep it up. Yeah,
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 thank you, thank you. So,
yeah.
how's that been? How has he been affected by everything that you're doing? Your drive, your traveling, right? How's that going?
Before I started this crazy traveling journey a couple years ago, and it was funny because I used to check in with him like literally like every week. I'm like, "Are you okay? I'm going away this week. Are you okay?" And he's like, "You good? Like you're good." And he's been extremely supportive. Like he is like, "I am not gonna stop you. Like this is your dream. Just go for it." And I'm really extremely grateful for him. And of course, I mean, we always joke about the daddy daycare, but he does an awesome job because people are like, "Who's taking care of your son?" And I'm like, "My husband, his father." And people are like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like, I mean, he's a great dad, and so he's holding down the fort. So I'm very blessed. Yeah.
Your earliest childhood memory was the bodyguard, right? It
Yeah.
was that guy. I mean, he isn't Kevin Costner, right? But again,
No.
right, he's there and
Yeah, he is.
he's allowing you to really walk in the love. I mean, so your favorite song was I Will Always Love You, right?
Yeah.
And that love is there. The love for humanity, I would say, is
Oh, yeah,
there. And you've made that
definitely.
decision. But isn't it fascinating that there's the full support, like that
Yeah.
bodyguard version movie?
Yeah. Yeah, it is, and it really is. And I think, and you know what, and that's what he says too, which I appreciate from him so much that I feel like he gets it. It's like the love for humanity, like because it's bigger. Well, for me, it's bigger than I'm very appreciative for my family. I love them, I adore them, but there's also like a lot, like millions of other families out there that need information and just need a lot of support. So he's seeing it for the greater good.
Hmm.
So I appreciate him for that for sure.
It feels as though this container of life, that there's the beginning and the ending, and we're trapped in between. The possibility that we could die today or tomorrow resonates very much right now in my life. So
Mm.
I attempt to do what I need to do every single day, having that focus. How do you interact with that conversation? Is it something in the back end of your mind or in front of your mind?
It is. I think it's in the front too, because I just feel like there's so much. To your point too, I am the same way. I'm like, there's so much that needs to be done
Hmm.
to make our planet better. So, like, keep moving forward. I mean, your time obviously is limited on everybody's time is limited on this planet. So as much as you can do to help someone else, whether it's even your own family members, friends, I mean, the public, whomever. My choice has been the public through media and other outlets, but it's just a matter of like, let's keep going because our time is limited. But in that time that we do have to be really efficient with our time to make sure that we're reaching out and making a difference. That is very critical. I think about that every single day. How can I make a difference?
Where's the best place for someone to follow or even support what you're doing?
Yeah. So the best place is my website, which has all my social media. It's drnekeshiahammond.com. Or again, that site has all my social media. So I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, everything.
Dr. Nekeshia, it is such of a grand opportunity to be given the chance, if you would, to call in and to hear that you've not given up, that you've stayed the course. And I believe you could have kept it to yourself. You could have strapped into that practice, right? And stayed right there and go home and get there, go home and help a lot of people. Nevertheless, you've decided to help humanity. So thank you for your service to humanity. In closing, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Yes. And well, first I want to thank you for this opportunity and thank you for all you've done too, because I've been following your journey too, and it's quite amazing and just inspiring to see you traveling literally all over the country here. So, but what I want to leave people with is just really to remember there's just so much happening in the world right now, but I want people to remember to really have hope. I do think things are going to get better slowly but surely, and to really just do what you can to reach out to the next person. There's a lot of people that are hurting and people don't even realize it because people don't necessarily share that on social media. So reach out to someone and just make sure they're okay.
Amazing audience again, Dr. Nekeshia Hammond. Check her out at drnekeshiahammond.com. Dr. Nekeshia, this is a pleasure, one that I treasure. Thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. This podcast is produced by Pod Edits. Visit podedits.com for professional podcast publishing.